The world is home to 2 billion Muslims, and it's predicted to surpass Christianity by 2050. Sounds impossible, doesn't it? You'll be shocked to know this makes Islam the second largest religion in the world. There are no countries where Muslims are outright banned from entering solely due to their religion. However, some places have restrictions, tensions, or policies that can be challenging for Muslims. We'll tell you about these 10 countries. Stick around. There's one country you've probably never heard of. Just wait. Number 10. Slovakia. Slovakia, with its stunning castles and rich history, might ring a bell. It's a country with just 5,000 Muslims, making up a mere 0.09% of its 5.5 million population. Here, being Muslim means living almost in the shadows. Did you know there isn't a single official mosque in the country? In 2016, Slovakia's parliament passed a law requiring a religion to have at least 50,000 followers to be officially recognized. This means Islam, with its small community, can never be acknowledged as an official religion. And without official recognition, they can't build mosques or access basic religious rights. Imagine living without an official place to practice your faith. Muslims in Slovakia face institutional indifference. Without official registration, they lack representation in religious and educational matters. While they don't face violent persecution, these policies marginalize them, preventing any significant growth of their community. Number 9. Bhutan. Bhutan, a country many associate with peace and happiness due to its famous Gross National Happiness Index, hides a very different reality for its small Muslim community. Out of a population of just over 770,000, only about 7,700 people, roughly 1%, identify as Muslim. The majority practice Buddhism. And while the Constitution guarantees religious freedom, in practice, being Muslim in Bhutan is a constant challenge. Mosques are practically non-existent, and Muslim communities struggle to organize religious festivals or establish educational spaces. In a country where Buddhist culture is deeply intertwined with national identity, Muslims are seen as an anomaly. They're simply marginalized, as the government focuses on preserving Buddhism. The government closely monitors religious expressions, and any practice not aligned with Buddhism is carefully watched. The cultural pressure is so intense that many Muslims choose not to openly express their faith. Number 8. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has a significantly larger Muslim population than Bhutan, with around 2 million Muslims, about 10% of its 21 million total population. Yet, being Muslim in Sri Lanka comes with its challenges. While the country has been home to diverse religions for centuries, tensions between Buddhist and Muslim communities have been rising. Since the 2019 Easter attacks, Islamophobia has surged to alarming levels. Muslim communities in Sri Lanka face daily discrimination, from boycotts organized by radical Buddhist groups to bans on certain Islamic practices. A clear example is the 2021 burqa ban, a measure many saw as a direct attack on religious freedom. Can you imagine not seeing anyone wearing a burqa? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Additionally, mosques have been attacked, and in some cases, local authorities have failed to intervene as they prioritize protecting Buddhism. Didn't see that one coming, did you? Number 7. India. India is home to the third largest Muslim population in the world, with around 200 million Muslims, roughly 15% of its total population. So why is it on this list? Despite these numbers, India's Muslim community faces systemic marginalization and growing Islamophobic sentiment, especially under the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP government, which promotes a Hindu nationalist agenda. The 2019 Citizenship Amendment Act is a clear example of discriminatory policies affecting Muslims. This law grants citizenship to refugees of various religions, but explicitly excludes Muslims. Unbelievable. Combined with regular communal violence, like the 2020 Delhi riots, this creates an ongoing atmosphere of insecurity for Indian Muslims. Despite their large numbers, many Muslims feel they're losing their place in an increasingly polarized India. If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe. Number 6. Central African Republic. Heard of this country? Many haven't. The Central African Republic has a Muslim population of about 15% of its 4.7 million people, roughly 700,000 individuals. But numbers don't tell the whole story. Since 2013, the country has been ravaged by sectarian conflict between Christian and Muslim militias. While there are no official policies banning Islam, Muslims face constant violence, forcing hundreds of thousands to seek refuge in other countries. The government has been unable to protect this community, and in some cases has been accused of collaborating with Christian militias attacking Muslims. Entire towns have been ethnically cleansed of Muslims, with many now living in displacement camps. This is a case where Islamophobia isn't just social, it's deeply rooted in the country's political and military structures. Bet you didn't know that. Number 5. Tibet, China. Once a country, now a region under Chinese control, Tibet is known for its strong Buddhist identity. What many don't know is that there's a small Muslim Hui community in Tibet, estimated at no more than 10,000 out of a 3.3 million population. In China, policies toward religion, particularly Islam, have become increasingly restrictive. Mosques in Tibet are under constant surveillance, and religious education is practically banned. The Chinese government exerts strict control over any religious practice not aligned with its state ideology. Muslims in Tibet live under tight restrictions, and many fear openly practicing their faith due to potential repercussions. Additionally, immigration policies make it nearly impossible for new Muslims to settle in the region, limiting any expansion of the Islamic community. Number 4. Angola. Angola is a predominantly Christian country where Muslims make up less than 1% of the population, about 90,000 people. In 2013, the Angolan government took drastic measures by closing mosques and refusing to officially recognize Islam as a religion. This decision sparked outrage from international human rights organizations, but the government stood firm, claiming Muslim communities didn't meet the legal requirements for official registration. Angola's case is unique, as it's one of the few countries that has legally attempted to eliminate Islam's presence. While there's no outright ban on Islam, restrictive policies make practicing the religion extremely difficult. Muslims in Angola not only lack places of worship, but also face growing hostility from the general population, fueled by Islamophobia. Number 3. Japan. Japan has one of the smallest Muslim communities in the world, with just 185,000 Muslims, about 4.15% of its 125 million population. Japan doesn't impose official restrictions on Islam, but its society is highly homogeneous and reluctant to accept immigrants and foreign religions. Muslims in Japan often struggle to find halal food, and mosques are scarce. Only about 80 exist nationwide. Japan's strict immigration policies have prevented Islam from growing significantly. While they don't face the violence or repression seen in other countries on this list, Muslims in Japan encounter a cultural barrier that isolates them from society. The Muslim community remains small and largely invisible. Number 2. North Korea. North Korea is undoubtedly one of the most closed-off countries in the world, and that includes its approach to religion. It's estimated that there are fewer than 1,000 Muslims in the entire country, a number so low it barely appears in official records. In a nation where the cult of personality around the supreme leader is the only permitted religion, any expression of faith is strictly forbidden. There are no mosques or Muslim organizations in North Korea, and religious practices are considered treason against the regime. Muslims, along with Christians and other religious minorities, are seen as enemies of the state and face severe persecution if caught practicing their faith. Being Muslim in North Korea means living in secrecy, always under the fear of being discovered. Number 1. Myanmar, Burma. The most heartbreaking case on this list is Myanmar. The Muslim community, primarily the Rohingya, has been the victim of a brutal persecution campaign. Of the 1.3 million Rohingya who once lived in Myanmar, over 700,000 have been forced to flee to neighboring Bangladesh since 2017, in what many have called a genocide. The Burmese government, backed by Buddhist militias, has carried out what the UN describes as ethnic cleansing. The Rohingya who remain in Myanmar live in dire conditions, confined to displacement camps or isolated villages, without access to basic rights like education or health care. Islamophobia in Myanmar is profound, and the government has done little to stop the violence. This is a country where being Muslim is literally a matter of life and death. It's clear that in many parts of the world, religion can be a defining factor in a person's quality of life. If you're interested in learning more about topics like this, don't forget to subscribe and give us a like. Thanks for joining us on this journey.